Hello everyone, welcome back. I wanted to talk a little bit more about the AK-47 today, and specifically I wanted to talk about the belt buckle zero. Okay, and the idea here is that at 100 yards, we're going to zero in. Okay, regardless where we're using red dot or iron sights, we're going to zero in so that point of aim is here, point of impact is up here in the high chest. Okay, so we're we're aiming at the belt buckle to get hit on the high chest, and the idea here is that the AK-47 round, it's going a little bit slower than the 5.56 round that a lot of us are used to, and we want to have the ability to shoot all the way out to 300 yards without having to adjust for holdovers. Okay, so what's going to happen is at 100 yards, we're aiming here, we're hitting up here. Okay, and then from that point, as we shoot out towards 300 yards, the bullet's going to start dropping, and at 300 yards, it'll come back down to the belt level. Okay, so there's no adjustment needed, from zero distance all the way out to 300 yards, and I think that that's a nice option to have. It's a similar type of shooting to what a lot of us are used to with the with the AR-15 shooting a 5.56 caliber, because with the AR-15, if you're using a 5.56, if you zero at 50 yards, you have a second zero at 200 yards. What that means is that you put the red dot here, and from zero distance all the way out to 250 yards, you're going to be either 5 inches high or 5 inches low. So you really don't have to adjust. And at 300 yards, basically you'll be about 10 inches low. So there's no adjustment, with an AR-15 shooting all the way out to 300 yards if you're shooting at a man-sized target. Okay, with the AK-47, the zero that a lot of people will typically use, they'll either a lot of people will just use the same 50-yard zero, in which case you get a second zero at 150 yards, and it starts dropping pretty fast after that. Or they'll use a 100-yard zero, and again, after that, you have to start figuring out, okay, at 200 yards, what do I have to do? How high do I have to aim over the head in order to be able to hit the target? So there's thinking involved, there's calculations. So the idea with the 300-yard zero is, from a zero distance all the way out to 300 yards, you just aim at the belt buckle, and you'll hit somewhere in between here. So there's no adjustment involved, and that's very similar to the mentality, as I said, that a lot of us are used to. Okay, so that's the reason why I like it. Now, when I typically shoot 100 to 150 yards, I'm usually shooting at a target about this size, okay, 11 by 8 paper, or I'm shooting a 12-inch plate. Because this is a relatively small target, I have to basically use either a 100-yard zero or the 50-yard zero. I typically use the 50-yard zero. With the 50-yard zero, I'll aim at the bottom of the paper, and I'll usually hit at the top of the paper, and then back at at 150 yards, it'll usually drop back down. So I'm able to stay on the paper from zero distance, all the way out to 150 yards. Okay, so the 50-yard zero does work really well for me, for the type of shooting that I typically do. But if I was expecting to start shooting at longer distances, right, at 300 yards plus, then I would consider this belt buckle zero. And for example, with those, what I would do is, like, I'd use those barrels over there, because those barrels are kind of like, man-sized. And I would zero in at the bottom of the barrel with the intention of hitting, at the top of the barrel. Okay, so I think this is a good option for you guys to have in your toolbox. It doesn't mean that you should use it, all right? Because I don't use it, but I'm aware of it. And if my environment ever changes where I'm shooting further distances with an AK-47, I might switch over to that. For now, I'm just going to keep the 50-yard zero. Which works pretty good for me. So if you guys like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you're not a member of my channel, subscribe. I'll see you guys next time.